So, are you leading with your heart, your mind, or your faith? Which one is your guiding light? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it.
Happy Wednesday afternoon. 1.5 million subs is the movement. This is the struggle is real. And let's get to it. Mind, heart, and faith. Which one is your strong point? Well, today we're going to talk about which one you lead with, which one guides you through your life, your day to day. I would just say this is how a person looks that leads with their mind. They lead with their mind, they're a planner. They usually lead with schedules, routines. They basically have their whole day planned out down to a science. And it's what, no, I'll take that back. It's easy for them to get in their head if things don't work out the way they want it. But for the most part, they're the more harder person to crack because they are so stuck on their routine. They live here. They lead with this. They don't lead with this or with faith. Now, the heart, I would just tell you, those people that lead with their heart, they lead with love. They lead with love. They lead with compassion, generosity. These are the ones that you know that'll drop everything they're doing to help you out. They lead with their heart. And those with faith, these people, either they could be religious or they could be just very delusional. They lead by vision, not by sight. They don't have to see it in front of them. They lead with just blind faith and just vision. Now, do they have all the plans up here? You can actually be a person that has two of these things going for you. But let's just say you're just one. You're not necessarily a planner. You just go off of instinct and you move however you move, and then wherever you land is where you land, and you just believe undoubtedly that's where you're supposed to be, faithfully. So now that I've broke down how people would move with these characteristics, the question I pose to you, which is your strongest point? Are you here? Are you here? And are you with faith? Or are you with faith? I'm sorry. So, I want to talk about me for a second, if you don't mind. I'm more of this. I'm more of this. I lead with my heart. Now, I'm just going to be 100% honest. That hasn't gotten me very far. It has not gotten me very far. It's gotten me what I would say, let's just give you my backstory. It gave me a 14-year relationship with a person with 12 years of marriage. Is allotted me 2 houses, one I'm currently in and one of the past. I think it's protected a lot of people because I've looked out for a lot of people. And I think that for the most part, I've given every bit of what I can give to people. Now, I will just tell you, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Leading with your heart is very stressful. It's disappointing. And the rewards is very low. Because just because you love somebody doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be reciprocated. Now, you might feel like you know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a course of how things is playing out. So, hold on a second. Let me roll my window down. It is hot in this car. I apologize. I don't know why I had it up. I didn't have it up before. But anyway, so I do lead with love. I'll give you a scenario. Now, normally I wouldn't talk about the scenario, but I'm gonna give it to you so that way you can see the level of, again, disappointment I have. So recently, my younger brother, the youngest of my 2 brothers, I don't necessarily have to break down the details or nothing, but you get it. My youngest brother just recently had a baby. Now, he's down here where I can see my niece, because my other brother, he lives in Indiana. So that means I have to get on a plane and fly out to see him and my nieces and my nephew. So that doesn't always work for me. It doesn't work for my budget. It doesn't work for my time. It's not that I don't want to see my family. I love my family. And I just told you I lead with love. And I also, now that I, entered the situation now with my brother down here having a niece, I just said, well, I've failed on one end of the spectrum of being there for my nieces and my nephew thus far. I've not like I have never gone back there to see them, because I've gone back there twice in 10 years or over 10 years that my brother's been down there. Probably more like say 16, 17, something like that. So yeah, my brother's been down there for 16, 17 years. And out of that, I've only seen him down there and visit him twice, and he maybe come down here a couple times as well. So I can honestly say that that's a little heartbreaking for me. But needless to say, I feel like I could regroup and I could start all over fresh with my other brother and his newfound family and my current niece that just, came into the world. I literally had to beg to recently see her. And I didn't really feel like I should have to, because I would have thought by now my brother would have knew the vibes. He knows where I live. I just would have thought that, damn, bro don't get a chance to see his nieces and nephew, at least according to, my other bro, the least I could do is, now that he's getting ready to have a niece here, the least I could do is make sure that he sees her. One time. Just one time. In the maybe, 2, almost 3 months she's been here. Not a big deal. I'll let that one slide. I still got a lot of time, hopefully. When he came over, he recently disparaged the conversation of work. Struggling with, work. So me trying to look out, I thought I would put in a word at, my job, see what I could do for him. Long story, less short, he didn't take it. He hasn't taken it. However, you have a family to take care of. Disappointing. I've tried to ignore it, but I can't. I can't. Me and my wife had a big spill out yesterday. And you heard my video earlier. Was it 4 a.m. thoughts? Where I said, does my marriage have an expiration date? Or I think my marriage has an expiration date. I'm not getting ready to spill out everything that happened last night or what was said. But I just believe my wife have lost some level of trust in my abilities to provide. Now, I'll leave it there because I don't want to, overly expose my situation with my wife's, feelings toward me and my feelings toward my wife. I don't want to expose anything as of right now. I just gave you some context to kind of go off of. And then again, I had a video. I'm just gonna let you know right now. I had a video that I was gonna do, kind of, based on a question of the day I asked. I can't remember the question right off the top of my head. I'm in my thoughts right now, but I asked this question, and I wanted to give it some context to why I was saying it, but I could not do it because I felt like if I went in, I would be exposing some vital chinks in my family's armor. But this conversation, I feel like I have to, and I feel like I'm doing it in a very graceful way because I'm giving you a foundation to go off of. I lead with love. And to this day, I think that shit is fucking killing me. Now, the other part of my, or I would just say I have two things outside of the heart thing. Because I lead with love, but I do have faith. I have what you call Christian faith. Now, not to get into a religious conversation because I don't really do that. I believe what I believe. I'm sure everybody has their beliefs, so we ain't got to talk about it. But I'll just tell you, I have a Christian faith. And in my Christian faith, it puts it in my heart to, outside of leading with love, I lead with a lion heart. which means I'm a heart charger. I'm a doer. When it's time to get to it, I get to it. I'm not afraid of anything. I am losing light. I'm sorry. Let me move it over here. So, I'm one of them guys. But because I've moved so I guess and if by me saying what I said earlier about faith, you go by vision, not by sight. You can't see what's in front of you. You just believe in your vision. You believe that your vision and what what your vision is to be, you believe that I can get there. And you just do the things that you do to get to that goal. Now, that doesn't work for everybody. I know it doesn't. And I just gave you a context of why it doesn't work for everybody because I mentioned my significant other. So that was part of the conversation that was spilled yesterday. That basically, I don't think maybe she at one point believed in my vision, but since then, there's been a loss of, I guess, trust or faith, one of the two. Now, I would say my wife and I are very similar. We lead with our hearts. We lead with love. Now, what that third pillar is for my wife, whether she leads with her mind or do she lead with the faith part, I don't know. If I were going to guess, I think she leads with her mind because she's very smart. But because she's smart and maybe she overthinks a lot of things, she get in her head. And you know what happens when you get in your head. See, I'll tell you right now, I'm very smart, but I'm probably too smart for my own good sometimes because I get in my head. That's why I would never tell you that this is my strongest point. This is my strongest point, and my faith is my second strongest point. Because what I believe in my heart is that I'm going for my family and my friends, those that are my friends. I'm looking out for everybody. So what I'm willing to do for myself, I'm just much as willing to do for the people around me because I want to look out for everybody. I'm looking out for legacy. But that, I'm sure that this bothers certain people because that's not in their mind what is logical. Again, they lead with their mind. They're not leading with their faith. And that's not nothing wrong with that. But it's a little discouraging. So that's where you got the conversation this morning where I said, I think there's an expiration date on my marriage. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess, I don't really expose. I do in some aspects, but I don't expose like real chinks in my armor. And I get on these questions of the day, and I ask you guys questions, and a lot of you guys have been very vulnerable to me. You've been very open and stuff, and you've told me all your histories and your situations that you've had, and you've been very open-minded to a complete stranger on the other side of this phone. So I appreciate that. So how do I look asking you guys questions, and if I'm not giving you a little bit of real about me, letting you know that I have a marriage built on shaky ground? So I just only think it's fair that I let you guys know, at least give you a pre-warning to something that might, be on the verge of collapse. But I'm not looking at it like it's going to collapse. I'm just giving, again, a warning. But that's it, and I do appreciate you guys being open to me, and that's why I don't have a problem being open to you. I mean, that's what this channel is for. It's for us to grow together. But I'm gonna pretty much leave it at that, because I actually had to stop this video due to the fact that I was running out of storage on my phone. I record a lot, in case you didn't catch that. I record every day, and I do long forms and short forms, and all that stuff starts catching up with my phone, and sometimes I have to cut things and take stuff out and whatever and stuff. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But I appreciate you guys rocking with me. If you lasted this long through my backstory and all of that, I appreciate it. That shows diligence and stuff. But if you guys, and just so you know, at the end of the video, I will present, my little corner. I'll have a little, what do you call it? Playlist. A playlist. I'll have a playlist in the corner, and I'll leave it for you guys to check out, because again, I've been vulnerable on these videos quite a few times and stuff, but a lot of you guys probably feel like you don't know enough about me, you don't know enough about my family. I am going to start doing a series called Memory Lane Mondays. I just did one this past week, letting you guys see into the life of of me and my grandkids, me and my wife, and just different mementos and stuff that I again have on my phone that I store and everything. And it's just like, I want to expose that. I want you guys to see me outside of my day-to-day, because you guys see me all the time. You see me in my work clothes, you see me in my regular clothes, you see me in my walk around the house clothes, and I just want to let you guys see that I am a human being, and I want you guys to know that I'm not sitting up here trying to present this poise like I don't have like chinks in my armor. I am a human being just like you guys. I struggle, I cry, I get upset, I'm happy. I've shared I've had my share of struggle, if you will, and that's why this channel is called The Struggle Is Real. So it's not the struggle is real because I'm asking about your struggles. It's the struggle is real because I'm giving you this shit in real fucking time of what I'm dealing with. So, and again, in this corner, I have a playlist. Please check it out. This will give you a little bit more insight about me, things that make me happy, things that make me sad, things that I'm into, things that I'm not into. Just giving you a breakdown of who I am. These are my behind the scenes and stuff. So check it out after you check out this video. Thanks for rocking with me. 1.5 subs is a movement, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.